Yo guys, I am sorry. I came to meet you all nikiwa nimechelewa. Guess what wasn't done cooking? Ikafanya ningoje ndo niichape.
No ichape.
Eh.
I don't know. Mayai, nimesikia mayai ndo hiyo gongo.
Na
watu wanagongewa siku hizi.
my anxiety.
Okay.
Welcome back to our Friday podcast. I am Pascal.
I'm Ron.
And thanks for tuning up, manze, wherever you're listening from. Waswa YouTube, tunawapenda, waswa Spotify, waswa
Apple Podcast.
kwa tawalo matunda. Yeah. And guys who listen to us from radio, from different places. Also Tanzania, thank you, man. Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa. Yeah. And we even have guys in States, Europe, and everywhere. Yeah. So thank you for tuning up.
Kwa sure VPN.
Sisi na Netflix zote tumekiwa Europe. Sawa, ina shida. But you're listening to our Friday podcast, and we have a guest today. Sasa.
Thank you, Poa.
We've been getting very beautiful ladies. Nakwanga fiti. We always have you guys around.
Thanks for having me.
Would you introduce alafu?
Introduce Tena.
Tena.
She has been
before. Lakini it was a group yako peke yake. No, nashinda huyu kwani tumemleta huko. Hebu introduce alafu tunajua jina lako inakuwa na contention fulani lazima Rona shout. Hebu iseme pia this time. Ndio watu wajue usianze tu vita vibaya online.
My name is Chelsea Guya. Yes, I am a psychologist, event planner and producer. Na saa zingine pia mimi ni podcaster. Saa zingine. Yeah.
Hiyo point ya Ron inakwanga iseme
Chelsea wa Man U.
Ndio hiyo. You should start saying naitwa Chelsea, mimi ni fan wa Man U. You know, it's not
a fan wa Man U.
No, I'm not. Excuse me.
Umekuwa nini tena? You back
to
ya Man U.
So it's great to have Chelsea, a psychologist, on, because today we really wanted to talk about introversion and the introverts in the house. I think we all have so many friends who consider themselves introverts.
Yeah.
I remind you guys who are listening that in this podcast, Ron refers to himself as an introvert.
Yes.
Imagine. Any podcaster ni wende
muambia watu ni hapa tu peke yake muongea. Ukikutana na mimi uko nje na nimenyamaza sifikirie na kusnob.
Hakuna mic mbele yake.
I just don't talk.
So Chelsea, help us understand what exactly is being an introvert. Who's an introvert? What do they do?
What do they do? Wow.
Nothing.
That's the point. So kika home kasfuria an introvert.
Yeah, very intro.
I'd start by saying it's a very big misconception that we have. We usually say that introverts have social anxiety. I don't think so. We can use Ron as an example. He does not have social anxiety. So that's a very big misconception. Introversion is just a personality trait. That's just who you are. You find stimulation from internally, from your mind, from who you are, rather than depending on external stimuli. So
Can you change that? I mean, it's who you are. Is it vitu tunaweza change as we grow older, as we get interaction with more people?
Not exactly, but you can adapt. You're an introvert, but depending on like your work situation or your social life, you can come off as if you're an extrovert, but really you're still an introvert. It can't change. That's who you are. Yeah.
Actually, on that point, when she mentioned that, this is the point where I give unnecessary information. About my childhood. Apparently, my parents have told me I've always been a quiet kid. Like hata nikiwa like a toddler, I was just quiet. Me unieke mbele ya TV, and yes, we had TV. Ilikuwa ya sanyo. Ilikuwa TV ya sanyo na haga kubwa. So
JVC.
Apparently, yes, JVC. Apparently that was my nini. That was just how I was. But one of my earliest memories of me being a child, nakumbuka when I was like 5, 6, I was very outgoing.
Yeah.
I think partly because of my brother. Tulikuwa tunatoka na nje, tunaenda kucheza ball, nini. Actually, yeye ndo alikuwa ananikataza kwenda nje in case they're going to do something dangerous.
Yeah.
Something he thinks it's going to be dangerous. He was just a typical firstborn, like trying to be overprotective and all that. But then when I was 6, I was homeschooled. I didn't go to pre-unit. Pre-unit no class 1.
Wait, okay. Homeschooled? Wow.
I know. Class. And before people think I come from CJ, tulikuwa tunaishi East Lando, California. So I was homeschooled. Then my brother was in class 1. Alafu now at that point, all my friends used to go to school.
Yeah.
So unapata, yes, walikuwa nakuja kitu saa 8 because pre-unit you don't go to school the whole day.
Yeah.
But the whole morning I'm by myself. Alafu wakikuja home, it's wakule, they take a nap, wakuja cheze kidogo, alafu waende waoge, they have homework to do. So but mi sikuwa na hiyo routine because me homework nilikuwa napatiwa ni asubuhi na by lunchtime nimemaliza. Yeah. So I remember, and I tell a lot of people not a lot of people, the people we have these conversations with, Mwambia, if there's a point where I think that trait solidified in my life was when I was 6. Because now nikiingia class 1, sikuwa that outgoing.
Yeah.
Because at first ilikuwa boring, juu unaamka mapema. There's a way we used to call each other. I think Nili mentioned kwa one of our previous episodes. But now you don't have anyone to call because watu wako shule.
Yeah.
So unabaki unawatch Tom and Jerry. Kwanza hiyo time walikuwa wanapiga 60 minutes of unapiga 60 minutes Tom and Jerry, unamaliza Courage the Cowardly Dog wapiga 60 minutes. But inafika time venye umesema you have to adapt. So I just adapted into it. Like, now I don't need to go out for me to have fun. So hiyo ndo part, if you ask me, that is the part where I believe that trait will solidify. So I think your question is important. Yeah. Is it something that you can grow out of at some point or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think on the story that Ron you've told us, it's even evident that it was there. You were just having help from your brother to go out. You just didn't realize it because he was always there. But then when now he left and he was going to school and you were alone, that's when now you realize, oh, this is who I am. But ideally,
and also my friends were not there.
Yeah.
So hata ukitaka kutoka nje unaenda kucheza nani? Unaenda kucheza bano peke yako. Yeah.
The reason I'm asking kind of change, I think after, like, there's that trait you have as an individual or as a kid, ukiwa mdogo, now below 6 years, like your parents can tell you this is venye uko.
Yeah.
But unapata piko influence na the people you're growing up with. So Yaron, I'll get more to go in because of his brother. Mainly grew up nikiwa mtoto peke yangu because all the rest walikuwa bigi. But I was never a quiet kid bado because I always knew kuna tu how watu wa bigi interact now. But it changes again when you get to teenagehood and adole ikikin. Because now unaanza kukua social, unataka kuinteract na watu. Like, do introverts still have that need or a want to, ukiwa adolescent, you want to be with your people, you want to be with your fellow maboys wakakuangana maboys madem the girl madem hivo and then bado mnataka kuinteract with the opposite sex, opposite gender so much. So introverts bado wako na hiyo urge ama kufika hiyo point au bado wanakaa home peke yao. Inakanika kifika hiyo point wataka tu peke yao, like wataki ku, especially now in teenage introverts.
Okay, maybe I should say introversion is not that you don't want to be with people.
Yeah.
It's that you need a pause. Inafika point and then you're like, excuse me guys, chill pill, I need to go and recharge. You know, like I want to be with you, but I cannot be with you because menichosha kiasi. So acha nichukue dakika kidogo, I go recharge, then I come back. I want to be with people. I just need breaks in between.
Yeah.
So like in teenagehood, we all like tulikuwa na wale watu, after some time they disappear. I don't know if you know such people. Like after a while they disappear for a bit and they come back. So they just need to recharge for a bit, then come back and continue. Yeah.
Na kuna wale tu they preferred their own company that ilikuwa naganika yenyewe.
Yeah.
all out
weird
to
ones,
throughout prefer their own companies.
The weird
Shout out to Leonardo. Okay, and then now fast forward to being a young adult. Sasa tumemaliza shule, now you're starting to work and you are still an introvert. A person is still an introvert na ameanza kufanya kazi. Ana manuvaje hapo juu kazi wezi take a chill pill wambiwe kama beshte ibu kitu 1 hour hivi narudi ama leo si feel. As an introvert you can do that. You can be like, leo I don't feel like going out. Poleni. And then people, since the wamekuzoea, that's your character and it's just a social going. When you're young in campus and younger, wataacha. But when you're working with some leo feel siski konde meeting leo.
I think before Chelsea answers that question, I can give my own experience. What he has just okay, not in terms of meetings, because my work involves interacting with people a lot, like collaborating with people from different teams. So I actually find that enjoyable. However, one of the places I've been struggling with in my professional life is now the two social aspects. Like lunch watu wanaenda kukaa pamoja, kupiga story, alafu kuna time watu wanaamua Friday si we go out. So they go out, which such things actually help because the more you go out with people, the more you familiarize yourself with them, the more they stay on top of your mind. So hata wakiwa na opportunities wanajua, tunaendanga na Chelsea out. Chelsea can do this. But even if Pascal is better at doing a certain thing than you, but he doesn't, like, kazi yake he does his job, he goes home. Anafanya kazi yake, anaenda home. But mi na wewe tunatoka, tunaenda,
mnapatana one day after Tuesday after work, sijui mnaenda gym pamoja.
Sijui tunaenda wapi, you get. So when an opportunity comes, ndafikiria Chelsea. I won't think Pascal. Because Pascal doesn't do that nini.
It's not,
so I'll just automatically think Chelsea. Even though in this hypothetical, maybe you might not be as good at at that thing compared to Pascal. So that's actually a part I've been struggling with. Because maybe, my time.
It's time to leave.
So true.
Mnakutana saa tu. All the best. Ndakuja kusikia story Monday.
Now you'll be happy with good. Uta feel FOMO.
Sita feel like I'm missing out. I won't feel like
I wish ningejua ningekam
nitajua
next time.
Nitajua lakini sitaenda. And maybe with time, which in one of my former working places, I realized it took me like 2 years for me to ease into that so that we have game nights on Friday evenings. Tulikuwa tunakaa kwa office hadi 11:30 usiku tukicheza board games. But it took me almost 2 years to get to that point. But kuna watu walianza kusocialize 3 days after coming. Msi ako vibrant inafika mali akiingia hivi. Kwanza anaanza kusalimia na kutoka huko. Ma high five. Nini kiingia? Kama you're not in my line of sight, ama hauniangali, tutasalimiana baadaye.
So uangali msionane. You don't make eye contact.
You don't make eye contact. So how does someone, going back to his question now.
So I'm by a different perspective. I don't consider myself introvert, but I struggle with almost the same things. For me, hiyo story ya kwenda kukaa chini pamoja lunch, it's a social nightmare. Like, I have social anxiety. I will do it. If I don't go weekend or so nenda hivo, Monday nda feel FOMO. But wakisema tena nenda this week Friday, kifika Friday nda get social anxiety. So it's a battle between my social anxiety ya Friday na my FOMO ya Monday. Which one I will tolerate? I must feel one. But I get, like, najua, as Rona said, kuna so many benefits in being social with your colleagues that comes out. Na wala they even have monetary value. Juu wenye kuna deals, kuna forms zenye wako nazo wanakuambia. Vitu zu come up vipoa. But the social anxiety I have to go through kwa akili yangu ndo niende kufanya hivyo. it's high.
Yeah.
So you can respond to that with those two perspectives.
Okay.
Yeah, kuna anxiety, mimi sina. Like I just genuinely don't prefer to go with you guys. Not that I hate you,
but struggle na kuna definitely wenye that be au wenye sawa naanza kusalimana kutoka nje. Yeah, hata ataanza kuipanga from Tuesday.
Inamogopa. Anyway, I think I'll respond to Pascal's the last question. Yours in this case is not even about introversion. It's like totally different. Like you've mentioned it, it's social anxiety, and that's something on its own. You want to go, you're ready to go, but you can't go.
Yes.
Ron just doesn't want to go. So it's different, and I'll address it in terms of introversion now. I think for introverts, when you are talking about adapting, so this is where adaptation comes in, and you need to learn to be like, oh, I need to put myself out there for these opportunities, because again, maneuvering the world as an introvert is not that easy unless you pair up with an extrovert. Like someone like JT or
95% of the people I knew in campus was because of JT. Bila JT. Hata ningetoka bila dem.
So you see, like something like that. So you pair up with an extrovert, but you also have to be very careful you don't overwhelm this extrovert, because every time most introverts umeambiwa ukujange, but before you convince yourself to come, it's very hard. So this extrovert has to be always doing the calling, the texting. Unakam Ron, unakam, But that's one of the strategies you can use. And then the second one, in terms of the work area or work environment, ni kujipanga mapema. And that's one thing I've learned from Ron. You have scheduled meetings, you have like a work plan, you have like if it's Friday, then it's at 9 a.m. So you need to pre-plan everything so that ukifika hapo, there's no room for spontaneity. Like there's no room for that, because introverts fear being spontaneous. It's just something they like to plan ahead. Ndio tujuange December 25th. Tunaenda Kakamega na msi change because ikikuja November ina mess up plans zote. So you see, so it's just the plans, and communication, I think. Just letting the people around you know that you're this kind of person. I like my things done on time. I like being told early, and then also in a work setting, I think if it's a team project, then you'd see most introverts pick those activities that involve a lot of critical thinking, a lot of putting presentations together so that they're not told to present. So I think that's also another strategy. Like you always pick the work that other extroverts, the extroverts don't want to do, so that they don't ask you to do the extrovert thing too. So
I think what she has said, I've actually experienced one of them. You're pairing up with a more extroverted person, even in the workplace, because nime realize umse anenanga kila mahali, right? And there's one thing, apparently, but internet people can lie. But apparently it was a quote from, I think, Hitler or someone. Ilikuwa, which I found to be true, the source notwithstanding. Ilikuwa, the mind can't resist something that's constantly presented to it. Eventually it will cave. So, ukikuwa na umse mwenye job, kila time anenanga maforms a job, we are going to meet up with colleagues, sijui where, sijui we are going to meet up, sijui, we're going for a networking event. Eventually utasema, try to one of these things. Like, next unaenda lini? Friday. Sawa. Acha tu nikamio moja. Juu, now unaja, and the more you interact with them, the more you realize just how many you're missing. Don't realize, over the last 3 weeks, zimekuwa 6. Concrete, na nimezimiss. So, unaona, and they've actually had value.
We can see the effects at
you
work.
Can see the
waswe they're closer. As in, you can just see how people interact at work after going out for after work activity. It's better.
Hata hizi manini, unafikiria mimi nilikuwa naenda hizi ati farewell parties. Mimi si kuanga nazienda. Tuna farewell kwa ofisi tuki before 5. Ukienda nenda lote madam. So but ikafika mahali I started going more to those places, even though I'm not particularly an outgoing person, a clubbing person, but hata wakeko kwa club setting, I just go for iyo nini, we are colleagues, we are doing something together, and you realize it actually started making an impact, including going for networking events, because that's also another place I've been struggling with a lot. Tena networking event, it's in the name. Go network. but mi nitaenda nisimame one place for 2 hours nimalze kunywa juice yangu nirudi kwa nyumba. But ukipair up na mtu mwenye anaongea sana, atapata let's go, because kwake it's just brainless. Yeye anataka tu kuenda. So I've actually experienced that, and I think it actually works.
Yeah, because when it comes to now presentations or even when unasema networking, you can even practice in advance. Umecheki pale mbele ya kioo hapa, hi, my name is Ron. This is what I do. But I think you do it enough, you practice enough, or you condition your brain enough, and somehow you start getting used to it. I remember there's a time you're also telling me about wanting to go for this music events, and you don't go oftenly. So you want to go for, so you want to go for more of them, and you'd wish if someone would tell you, Iko Friday. And then asistopia hapo, a follow up, unakuja. Because again, most introverts succumb to the pressure, the in quotes, the pressure. Because if I keep on calling you and telling you to keep on showing up, utaskia, manze, this time let me just go.
Yes, nothing as of kapo into I just want to go because I don't want to disappoint you. So I just go. But kuda point ingine pia ube mentioned, which I actually found funny, because sometimes mtu anaweza bring up something that's spontaneous. Let's say on a Saturday evening. I was not planning to do anything on a Saturday evening. So see at your time I had scheduled for something else. But I had just not planned to go out.
Exactly. See you have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
You're not doing anything.
But you did tell me early.
I was just not planning to go out. So I won't go. I'd rather just mindlessly scroll through YouTube and Netflix doing nothing than kufikiria, in 2 hours I need to be in Westie. Nah, I won't do that.
Okay. I may appreciate that, may do that. But in the workplace, I feel like introverts, especially I'm seeing it more and more, inakuwa hard because at work you don't have someone to push you as much. With your friends, yes, they can ask you 5-10 times ukuje, wakijua maybe there's one of them utakuja. But at work, they'll ask you mara moja mara mbili, no wameenda, wameform WhatsApp group. And then at sometimes you won't hear that stories because babu, they finish everything off, they go to lunch. Unashtukia tu watu wametoka 12:30 badala ya saa 7 wakienda lunch. Kumbe wamepata base fulani na walikuwa wameshapanga. So as an introvert, you keep getting left further and further behind with no one to hold your hand and bring you up to, bring you to these things. Because everyone has work. And apart from work, this is what they're doing for their personal time, for their freedom, for their self-care, to let off steam. So honestly, ana hiyo capacity ya kwanza kukunudge, kukuskuma.
Naona hata mentor juu. Huko
tu. You're not showing up. So it feels like it's getting harder for people at work. And even the work itself, work is getting more and more fully engaging. Like, you don't only need to do your task and present, you don't only need to do your task, you also need to present it. Mbele ya watu, more and more. I feel like my work is a introvert's dream. Jume can stay at home for weeks. Nikifanya tu kazi from hapo. But it still has a lot of calls, and when I do have to do physical stuff, it's very engaging where you have to stand in front of people and talk. So it's not easy to just get one side of work peke yake. So introverts wana struggle huku.
Na tunaonea kitu. But I think this may sound a bit harsh, but introduce personal responsibility to the equation. And we are living in a world where most people want their hands to be held. And yes, there are people who are willing to hold their hands. But sometimes also ask yourself, am I letting people hold my hand too much? you are a whole human who's capable of making your own decisions. You're a whole human who's capable of, you want your career to, to further your career. You want, so that's why I'm saying personal responsibility in terms of, even if it's 1 foot in and 1 foot out, always, that's why somebody like me, I don't want to call myself an introvert, but I usually make it a point to stay in all WhatsApp groups that are there, even if I will never speak, but I always know what is going on. And most of the time I'll not show up for whatever it is that people are planning and see what, but it's just my own responsibility so that I'm not left behind. So I think the person should also try as much as possible to have at least work friends.
Yeah.
You know, the way in like with your social friends, you have that person who will hold your hand. So even at work, find your work bestie who will tell you, Friday tulienda. Next Friday.
Kuna form.
Like something like that. If there's a WhatsApp group, anakutumia link. Yeah. And also, venye tuko nasema, communicate in advance. Ambianga watu hivi ndio huko. Wasidhani unawasnob ama unawanini. So that,
because we don't know their, with friends, you hang out with them so many times and for so long,
you know.
With our work friends, as you call them, we don't know. Ujuangi ni unajuanga nafanya kazi vizuri, he's just, amenyamaza tu kidogo. Hivyo tu, but ujuangi, like, this is how they are. But I like your part, your work friend. I don't think I have a work friend.
It's necessary, my dear. It is very necessary to have a work friend. And also, banana sao kwenye nilikuwa kusema. Your story, imeenda.
But work friend is
necessary.
Very helpful.
Okay. So another part of introverts that they struggle with in relationships. Hapo. Sijui, do they date each other? Because introvert works good, not at the best, but works good with an extrovert, John and push. But in a relationship, does it come out the same way? Does the other partner who's dating an introvert have to keep pushing them? Twende out, tukule, like twende tupatane na rafiki. Let's
No, I think introverts can date each other. And couples who are introverted, it's a good combo and also not a very good combination, because your dates will just revolve around not wanting anybody around. Ninyi tu wawili.
Hiyo mlango hamjafungua for 3 weeks.
True.
Mko sawa.
Mko tu sawa.
True. Walai.
But I think introverts also have the most meaningful relationships, because most introverts, and Ron will maybe tell me if I'm wrong in this, you don't let go easily a lot of your relationships, because you know how hard it is to find those people. So ukipata huyo mtu uko like, excuse me, unaenda?
Yeah. I don't have the energy to go look for another one.
We will fix it. Come back here.
Same with friends. You know how hard it is to make a friend.
Yes. So you've been adopted by an extrovert to be like, excuse me, no, we will make it work. Let's have that conversation. Oh, okay, this is how you feel. Okay, this is how I feel. So I think it brings more depth when you're an introvert, because of the nature of how easy or how hard it is to make friends. So your relationships are more in-depth compared to extroverts who they'll be in a room and they know everyone. No, Buddha, nini. They know everyone. It's very easy for them to just maneuver the room and sell themselves. So I think introverts have relationships. It's just not very easy for them to mingle and be out there. But yes, they do have relationships and they work actually, like vizuri.
Now, how does now someone in that position maneuver that kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship, without coming off as overbearing? And sorry, here's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
If I have only 3 friends, then at any point I can just talk to 3 people about a lot of things. I can only speak to 3 people. But you have 50 or you have 20 people that atukiko kwa simu. So by the time unaanza kurespondia to watu wa 7, Chelsea has taken so long to respond. But where how notice, because you have 9 people to speak with. And it's ironic for me to say this, but nime realize in some of the ladies I've interacted with, that might be one of the challenges that come up, let's say in a relationship, for example. Because maybe I'll be speaking, and partly it's because my work involves interacting with a lot of people during the day. But by the time I'm finishing with all these people, ude mwenye tunaongea nae, mwenye, she's enclosed. The only person she's texting ni mimi. So atashindwa, why is Ron taking 3 hours to respond? Then it starts becoming an issue. So how does now an introvert balance that so that I get their, I guess I can call them social needs met by the people they have around without being overbearing to them?
I think that's, to me, it's very simple. Communicating your needs, like always. Because most times to go kwa relationships and we are not even talking, you don't even know who I am. You don't even know I'm an introvert. Like, what kind of relationship is that? So I feel like if you communicate your needs to your partner or to your friends, then we are able to figure out how this relationship is going to blossom. Because I know this is who you are, and sometimes you need some time to just be like, whoa, I can't be speaking. And my boyfriend is an extrovert. I need to understand that my boyfriend is 1, 2, 3, and he will speak to 1 million people. And I will just need to relax and be like, he's not cheating on me. He's just being his extrovert self. And he'll come back to me and we'll have our own moment. So I feel like communicating your needs is very important. Be it work, be it relationship. It's so that everybody knows how to handle this situation. So I think that would be the answer to that question.
From the start, ndio msiget into the relationship, alafu 3 months later naanza kufikiria udem ni mnagi.
Clingy.
She's so clingy. She always wants to spend time. It's exhausting. But ikikuwa ni kitu najua about her beforehand, najua I know this is how she is, and she knows this is how I am. So anajua, if I'm not texting 12 hours out of the 14 hours I'm awake, it's not that there's any problem. I'm just, quote unquote, dealing with so many other things and so many other people. But akikaa hivi, unajua kwanza ukikuwa kaa unaongelesha mtu moja, that time really drags.
Juu unaona ako online, lakini ime take 20 minutes kurespond.
Anajibu kila mtu.
Anajibu kila mtu.
Unaona imeandikwa hapo juu online.
Now, those 20 minutes to them seems like 2 minutes. To you, they feel like an hour. Because umekaa tu unangojea text ya mtu mmoja. So I think,
I think also on the same, now from you, you should be able to reassure your babe that this is it. Like, communication both ways. Like, she's communicating and you're also communicating. And when you're scheduling quality time, then it's quality time, because most introverts are usually quality time people. So if it's quality time, then it's quality time. I'm not focusing on texting work people. I'm not focusing on texting, it's me and you, and we are in this moment, so that she also feels validated, because she needs that. So it goes both ways.
That whole situation makes introverts look like they need too much attention. Kwa sababu her preferred way of interaction, with the world, hata si hata tuwe pekee, ni kukaa tu na wewe. Anataka tu kukaa hapo na wewe na ako happy.
You're the chosen one.
It's almost
but
like
the extrovert
she's
wants
only
more interaction
for you.
Yes. But the extrovert anataka kuinteract with 5 other people.
At the same time. Amepekelea hapa lakini anako.
Mtu akuje kuongea huku ata-respond. Mtu mwingine amuulize swali huku atajibu. Like, attention yake anataka kuisplit. As an extrovert ataki kuiweka in one. Introvert, yote in one direction. So I get what you're saying, your balance.
Being intentional. because that intentionality means a lot to someone like that.
Me ndo sinanga excuse because I'm an introvert, lakini I can take 4 hours to respond to a text because a lot of times the same way I'm not open to going out all the time, speaking to people and all that. Hata ya simu unichosha. So I will text in the morning. Just sometimes what I do. Naingianga WhatsApp, kasijasha Wi-Fi. Na respond to texts zote that I'm supposed to respond to. Alafu nasha Wi-Fi for 5 seconds. Zote zina go through. Alafu nazima tena. Ndaiasha tena in 3 hours. So mi sinanga excuse. I'm just...
No, I actually get you because actually most people in my phone are archived. Like,
people. Men archive groups.
People. Hey, and it's not even at it's people I don't love. It's people I love so much. But
it's from a distance.
No. Inanipa anxiety nikiona messages zikipop. So that's why nimezi archive. When I am ready, I will get to you. So most things are archived. And then also statuses. Zote.
Customer care.
When I'm ready.
When you're here, we'll do next available agent.
So I think it's nikuweka mikakati tu. Itabidi.
Nivenge umesema mwisho. Kuna WhatsApp group. Hey.
All my statuses are needed.
Archives.
Ile uko chini malisi waoni.
Same.
Hakuna status niona mpaka niende uko chini intentionally.
Mi saa yangu yenyewe ni simu. Mi introversion ya simu niko nayo. Nafungonga tu naona all those messages and I do not have the capacity to respond. But when you're doing face-to-face interaction, very well, full attention, perfect responses, but simu ni ngumu. There's a previously we had an episode red flag, green flag.
Yes.
And one of the ladies alisema red flag yake ni shy men. So are introverts shy?
No.
Introverts wanekwa same category as shy men.
No.
They are quiet, ataki kuongea na mtu, atakatuku. From a stranger's point of view, someone who's meeting an introvert for the first time, whether at work or in social aspect, atona, this is a shy person. Huyu mse ataki kuongea na watu akapeke yake. You ask them a question, they give you 2-word answers. Na ako fiti. So introverts do come out as shy. The same way they come out as needy, wanting attention, clingy. Another character which the rest of the world sees them as is shy. So how are they not shy?
Okay, I think I'd say introverts are not shy. Or trust me, they're not. Because an introvert just wants you to be the one to start that conversation. They can't do it. Or some of them will, but it's not all the time that they'll do that. But once you start that conversation and you guys click, you can speak for hours and hours and hours, So they're not necessarily shy. It's just quiet. That making the first, they are quiet. Because most of the time they have internal...
So quietness and shyness is not the same.
Different.
No, I think it's very different.
And all
things.
that 3 na introversion pia different.
Because just because I'm quiet doesn't mean I'm shy.
And just
I'm choosing to be quiet, please. If you try me, you will find out. So I'm shy, but I'm not quiet. And I think even... most men who are introverts, that's why I'm saying they have meaningful relationships, because when an introverted man hits on a lady, then it's very ameipanga.
It's intentional.
Yes, it's very intentional, and it's preconceived, premeditated. Yes, like this is what I'm going to do. This is how we're going to approach it, and like they've looked at interesting topics they're going to speak on. It's not just spontaneous. No, they have wanted you for a very long time to be able to hit on you.
But sa Joe anaogopa spontaneity and nini abrupt change. Akigo na hiyo venye ameipanga alafu umenje from hapo go on.
Itachukua tu another 6 months to strategize.
Back to the drawing board.
To re-strategize too. It will take time, but you'll get there.
So introverts and you guys are dope.
That actually makes sense.
I wanna throw in a last one as we wind up. Ambivert. Yeah, I consider myself an ambivert in that I'm not an introvert. I know that much, but I also know I'm not an extrovert.
Are you sure?
I feel like yangu I was more introvert nikiwa yanga kidogo tu. Alafu the adapting part yenye umesema, I really adapted a lot. Like I remember the times when I was in primary class 6, 7 hapo, I was a quiet kid. In fact, class 6 nilienda into a new school. Nikanyamaza, I was quiet. I was smart, like top 10 hapo, but quiet bado throughout. 7 the same. Class 8 ile najulikana juu mko class 8 watu wanawajua but still quiet. Niko kwa clubs but quiet. But when I go to high school, it felt different. It dawned on me different. So I adapted to being more outgoing and social and upbeat vituka hizo. And then high school pia ilikuwa like that's just the energy we were raised in for the 4 years. So by the time natoka high school, I'm more loud. Kwanza kushout nilifundishwa kushout. Kishout. I take advantage siku hizi time yote ya kushout. At least mtu ako mbali naweza muita. Ina shida. Siwezi wiso lakini gari iko huko ndaita makanga. Ndamshautia. So the way I got out of high school, more extroverted than how I came in. And all through, especially now what we're doing with Games for Mental Health and actually running activities and the podcast, it's making me more and more talking. But I still don't consider myself an extrovert. So am I an ambivert? And for those of us who consider themselves somewhere in between.
Yeah, it's ambivert is like one foot this side and one foot this side. So you're an introvert when you need to be and an extrovert when you need to be. And it's like an in-between. But again, I'd like to mention that we are all socialized differently and most of us adapt to the society. So I don't know if in the philosophy world, if we ask ourselves, who are we really? Like, is it the who that we grew up being or the who that we became because of society or the who we are trying to become again because of society
or the who that we were born with and that's just who you are.
Like we can sit here the whole day and talk about who we are and who we want to be. But yes, there's extrovert, introvert and ambivert in the middle.
Okay. So I may consider myself somewhere hapo katikati. Shalom, as we wind out.
First, people don't know who Shalom is. So yeah, as Ron, I get that, especially in relationships, both romantic and platonic. What you have said really resonates because neza kamali nisionge with anyone, but when someone will come and approach me and they realize we have a lot in common, we have a lot to talk about. Like we can talk for a long time. But that's only if we have a lot of things to talk about. Me is doing a forced conversation. Which surprises people because sometimes we have gone somewhere, then this actually happened. Tulikuwa tumeenda mahali. Then after that, tukaka chini kukula now as the group. Alafu there's this chick I was meeting for the first time. Then we were having a nice conversation. Alafu one of the other group members akamention. Kasema, hey, by the way, you two, you seem like you're really hitting it off. See, carry this forward. Then wade wakasema, hata hajaniitisha namba. Then mimi nikasema although hakusikia but nikasema because I just don't see what you're going to talk about after now. So I don't want to take your number for the sake of taking your number. Alafu niende home, then we never talk. It's just another contact on my contact list. I don't do that. So if we have something to talk about, I will get your number.
But it actually makes sense.
But yes, if I genuinely can't sit down and think of further conversations we can have after this, we'll have the nice conversation you're having today, then we'll go our separate ways. If we meet later, well and good. Yeah. If we don't meet later, that's fine. Which nearly realize there's some people who usually take it as it's snobbish. Ron mbona kunitisha number, like it becomes and some actually get not offended. Offended is not the word, but they're left with a lot of questions because now they're thinking, I thought we had a really nice conversation. Mbona kunitisha number, but now I'm in like, because after I don't take your number after today, it's hi, how are you? Good. You? Good. How was your day? My day was fine. And yours? My day was fine. I love your conversation.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, I don't do good nights. I don't do good nights. Me conversation yangu you extend for tunaweza go for like, and it's a chick I met in campus who actually told me that nilimtext asubuhi to respond to her night text, akaniambia well good morning to you too. Nawambia oh sorry good morning, akaniambia well nimerealize you don't do salutations. Nawambia because the conversation is flowing, why would I come and interrupt it with a good morning?
Aki, good morning is so important to me, by the way.
Good morning, pata Safaricom. Safaricom, dear valued customer. Anyway, so that actually makes
any closing remarks?
I think I just encourage us as humans to communicate better.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny thing, but when you communicate, people actually get you, and those who don't get you are just not meant to be in your path, or you're not your people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they don't have their people. No, it's not ill-intended. Just everybody has their people.
Yeah.
Let's just communicate. And communication is a lot of things. It has compromise inside there. So the 3 C's of communication. But I mean, this is not a class.
Yeah.
But I like learning that introverts still want that social interaction.
Yeah.
They still want some people.
They
want people. They want someone and they want interaction, social interaction. When you two numbers out ni less. Anaweza pata all of that from one person.
Yes. And if that one person is not ready for it, it becomes a problem.
Oh, okay.
It becomes a problem.
Because we're thinking now as person who's an introvert, we need a lot of it. Like social interaction is something we all as humans need, and we need it a lot. And people as well, in terms of people we can talk to, people who are close to us. An introvert yake ni wawili tu. These are the ones inakwanga like, kuna umesema hivyo, like we need 50 people. We need a circle around you. Okay, sawa. To the introverts who are listening, continue to listen to On a Friday podcast ukiwa peke yako.
Yes.
We can keep you company.
I like him tough time too.
We can keep you company. In the meantime,
we won't be here forever.
We're here for your need. We'll give you attention. You can continue to listen to us. And you can find us on Spotify, on YouTube.
Now subscribe by
on
the way.
Apple.
Wanasikizanga tu na subscribe.
We manzi. Wakaanza kusema hizo subscribe na comment na like. Tunasemanga tu usikiza juu tunajua utasikiza na ufanye kitu.
Watu wafanyangi by the way.
Amfanyi kitu.
Kuna mwingine nilimshika ametusikiza for like a year. Nikamuuliza, umetufollow Spotify? Akasema, hapana, acha ni wafollow sahi. Then kwenda kurefresh Spotify for podcasters. I literally saw the number yake ki add 1 plus 1 like, for a year you haven't done. Shamed of
follow On a Friday podcast. Subscribe to On a Friday podcast.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.